Hey there Stampers, and welcome to Simple Card Sunday. This is our card for this week. It uses these really fun little wooden accents that you can get in the holiday catalog. So let's get started. You're going to need a piece of crumb cake cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11, and I've gone ahead and folded that in half ahead of time. And then you're going to need a piece of Cajun Craze cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And so step one, you're going to want to draw yourself a line. And so this line is going to tell us where we need to center these two half circles that we're going to punch out. So I'm going to draw it 1.5 inches up from the bottom, and I'm going to use a pen just so you guys can see it really well. You could use pretty much anything to draw that line. You just don't want it to soak through to the front of your card. This is going to be the back, so no one's going to really see that anyways. So then I'm going to get out my 3/4 inch circle punch, and you can see mine is old style. But it still works great, so I haven't replaced it yet. And I'm just going to punch out a half circle from either side. So you want to line up the line that you drew in the middle of your circle going horizontal, and the edge of the cardstock in the middle of your circle going vertical. And I just eyeball it and just go with it. I figure not too many people look that closely to make sure they're perfect. Except for the one who made the card, right? So we have that punched and we're ready to go. I'm going to set that aside because the next thing that we're going to do is get out our wooden embellishments here. So like I said, these are from the holiday catalog. It's the autumn wooden accents, or elements, sorry. And in the package, you can see I've used a lot of mine. There's some outline images, and then there's some solid images. So for the card today, I just chose the solid images, and I picked 2 leaves and an acorn. You could absolutely use the outline ones too. It would be super cute as well. Okay, we'll set those aside. So I have my 3 wooden accents there, but I want to give them a little bit of color. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to color them with just some sponge daubers and some ink. Okay, I'm going to pull this aside so I don't get it all inky. And we'll start with our crushed curry and a sponge dauber. And you can see I have my sponge daubers all labeled. The label maker, I think, is my best friend in my craft room. Other than my Big Shot. That's up there too. Alright, so just hold it on one end and just kind of rub the ink on like so. You just want to give it just a little bit of color so it looks like it's been stained, which I guess is what we're kind of doing with our ink, right? So a little bit of color like that. I'm going to go ahead and get the soft suede ink and open that up. We're going to use soft suede to color the little acorn. Fun story, when we built our house, there's 5 of us in our family, so we planted 5 trees, 1 for each of us. And mine is an oak tree. And it makes acorns, it's so cool. Alright, and then the last leaf here we're going to color with old olive. Okay, so bring up the old olive sponge. And this leaf reminds me of my oldest son's tree. It's an ash tree. And it's always the last one to turn color and the last one to lose its leaves. Alright, so I have my 3 wooden accents colored. Since I have the sponge daubers out, I'm going to do a little bit of sponging on the edge of the card. So on the Cajun Craze piece, I'm going to just sponge around the edge with this. Now you could absolutely use your Stampin' sponges for this, but since I have my sponge daubers out, I'll go ahead and use them and just sponge around the edge like so. I'm not worried about it being perfect. I want it to look a little sort of rustic. I think that's what fall is all about. Rustic stuff. Okay, and I'm going to bring back my soft suede ink and I'm going to bring in my card base and I'm just going to sponge the edges of my card base too. Just gives it a little bit of depth, which I like. And I can still complete it in the 10 minutes by sponging the edges. Okay, and we'll just go all the way around like so. These sponge daubers are really fun to use. They're really fun because you get to stick your finger in them. I always use them when I do Stampin' Kids classes because the kids love them. And who am I kidding? Adults love them too. And they make the perfect polka dots. If you ever need perfect polka dots, pull out your sponge daubers. Okay, so we're done sponging. I'll set those aside. I'll set my card base aside again. Now the next thing that we're going to do is tie a little bit of baker's twine through here. So I have my crushed curry baker's twine here. Let me tell you how I store my baker's twine. I have these old accessories containers that are empty, and what I've done is I've taken a ribbon spool that was empty, and I took the cardboard off and I punched a cute scallop circle shape with the color of baker's twine. I wound my baker's twine around it, and then you can see here I have a hole punched in the side of my accessory container, which I did with my crocodile, and that's what I feed it through. So all of my baker's twine sits in my accessory holders, and it's all labeled so I know what color it is. And then it doesn't get all inky and all messed up, and it doesn't have the kinks in it from sitting on the board or the little cardboard. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a bunch of this out, and we're going to wrap it around a bunch of times like so, and then we're going to tie it in a knot. So I'm going to pull my scissors out and I'm going to cut it off the spool here, just so I don't have a super long tail of it sitting. It's hard to tie when it's still stuck on the spool. Okay, and tie that in a nice knot. That's going to be hidden, so you don't really need to worry about it being perfect. You could absolutely just flip that all the way around to the back of your card too, because like I said, it's hidden. Nobody's going to see where that knot is. Okay, so I have my baker's twine on there like that. And now I'm ready to stick my wooden embellishments on. So I find the best thing to use for this is the glue dots. You could absolutely use some Tombow glue too, but the glue dots are just really quick and really easy. Okay, so I have them out of the box and I'm ready to go. So we're just going to stick, I'm going to do 2. And just stick it on like that. And then the little acorn. And this green leaf here. So you can see I just stick my embellishment onto the glue dot, and when I pick it up, the glue dot is stuck to the back of my embellishment. Alright, I'm going to stick that on like that. So I have my cute little embellishments. I have a new thing I glue dots, and there's these little teeny tiny pieces of paper from the edges that get all over my stuff. Okay, so there we go, that's ready to go. And then before I go ahead and stick it onto the card base, I'm going to stamp a little sentiment on it. The one I chose to use is Thankful for You. And this is from the Good Greetings Hostess set. So this is a set that you can earn with the holiday catalog. If you have a workshop that totals $325 Canadian or more, this will come with your hostess benefits. Super cute set with tons and tons and tons of greetings on it. I think there's 19 altogether for all kinds of seasons and occasions. So definitely you're going to want to host a workshop and get one of those for sure. So mine is brand spanking new. I don't even have the label on the back of my stamp yet. But I'm going to use the Thankful for You, and I'm going to use the soft suede ink for that. I always find it hard to stamp without the label on the back of my stamp, but we're going to give it my best here. And just under the wooden embellishments there, so you can see the Thankful for You stamped on. We'll put this aside, and now we're ready to stick this to the card base. I'm going to pull out my snail and get sticking. Alright, stick that down, whoops, try and get it straight, and there we go. All done. So we have our super cute autumn super simple card for Simple Card Sunday. If you like what you see and you'd like to order some of the Stampin' Up! Products that I've used, feel free to contact me. I'm more than happy to send you a catalog. Remember, because I'm Canadian, I can only sell to Canadians. Thanks so much and have an inspired day.